Hey everyone, you're here with Mark Batwell at perfectgardens.com. So today I had a really great response and a slight request on anything that I might suggest or do different versus the Fox Farm nutrient line. Okay, what I would do different wouldn't be per se to suggesting a different nutrient line. What I would suggest would be to start with the first four things I normally give most of my grow clients when I start working with them, or is the first four things I begin to tackle away at when I'm hired to improve their facility or help scale it up. So number one, I create a schedule. This is hands down probably going to be why you get successful ever in life, is by creating a schedule and sticking to it. And what I mean by creating a schedule is be aware of what you have to do every day. If you're a parent and you have kids, you have to take someone to school, you have to go to work. There's lots of things that you have to do every single day to maintain your life. Get a piece of paper, write all those things down on a 24-hour basis. And don't just do it day by day, but create a week schedule. And if you can, create a month schedule so that you know pretty much exactly where your time's going to be over the course of the next 30 days, 7 days, or even just a day-by-day basis. And then when you look at your schedule, try to identify a 30 minutes, an hour, or however much time you need to properly spend time with your plants away from distraction. And I give you my word, if you dedicate a certain amount of time to your plants, they will provide you a return. If you just tell yourself, okay, I have time, I'm going to go spend time with my plants right now, and you do that day in and day out, your plants over time are going to get sick. They're going to begin to struggle. Why? It's because you're watering your plants at different times. And by doing that, it's not consistent, meaning your soil might dry out a little bit more, or maybe you water the night before and then you get up and you water in the morning. Well, now your soil doesn't really have much time to dry off a little bit. And then if you continue to keep taking care of your plants on a schedule that's best for you versus what's best for your plant, on a day in and day out basis, those little things will begin to add up. And in the beginning, it might not be a big deal. And who knows, in the beginning, you actually might see some extra vigorous growth because of something you're doing or something that might happen. Although you're dependent upon your experience, you might not realize that early sign is actually an early indicator of stress on the plant, and before you know it, you might start dealing with spider mites or aphids or whiteflies or a mineral deficiencies within the plant itself, and then you begin to treat that symptom, but you're not actually taking care of the main problem. And let's say you take care of that symptom, but you don't take care of the problem, that problem will begin to show up in other ways in the plant, which once again will create a slippery slope, and you will once again get distracted trying to solve the symptom but not solving the problem. And by creating a schedule, you'll be able to get grounded and your plants will be able to get grounded, so you will be able to see a very consistent experience with your plants day in and day out. And if something changes from that consistency, then you know, okay, wow, something happened. What did I do in the last 24 hours or the last 48 hours, or the last 72 hours? And by going back and reviewing your steps, you can begin to identify what is actually causing the problem versus you being sucked down a rabbit hole of symptoms, which ends up just costing you money because you get panicky, you go to the hydro store and you try to describe the problem, but because you're kind of feeling comfortable showing people your cannabis plants or any plants, maybe you do feel comfortable, but maybe you're not even sure the person at the hydro store even has any real life growing experience. So he's just really regurgitating something that another grower told him, and now he's telling you a piece of advice that worked for someone else, although might not actually be the best advice for you and your grow. So just by you creating a schedule and sticking to the schedule away from distractions, when a problem does arise, you'll be able to identify that problem and fix it almost immediately. And when you do that, the significance behind that really is the plant not struggling on a day in and day out basis. And when you solve the actual problem immediately, the plant will then put all of its energy and time into growing versus recovering from stress or lack of water or anything we've done to actually contribute to why the plant is in its current state of stress.